listening. All right, we're less than 2 minutes away. And I'm going to open with this about the Obama Presidential Library because there is a lot to cover and a lot to talk about in regards to it. But I must tell you, it is very relevant today because the Obama generation are the ones that are teaching our kids. The Obama generation are the ones, because they're older now. You know, remember Barack Obama was elected president 18 years ago. So, you know, our police departments, our government agencies, many judges, both local and federal, are of the Obama generation. So, you know, and they think and view and many members of Congress that are Democrats, they see and view the world like Barack Obama, and not just President Obama, like Mrs. Obama, like Valerie Jarrett, and the rest. So this is very relevant and very important. I got a lot of other things I'm going to cover on the program, not just this today, but this is what I am going to lead with. Hang in there. Okay, we've got 20 seconds. All right, we're back on another exciting day. My name's Brian Craig, and this is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Welcome, everyone. We've got a lot to cover. Today is Friday, and every Friday on the show is Open Phones. It's Open Phones every Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't even have to comment on the things that I bring up, okay? So the show prep is up to you and the listening audience. However, I have a few things I got to get off my chest, starting with this disgrace of the President Obama's ceremony yesterday of the opening of his presidential library. And I got to tell you that, you know, a lot of people may say, who cares? He hasn't been president for a long time. President Obama, I've said a lot over the last few years. President Obama is the most destructive president the United States has ever had. He took that crown away from Lyndon Johnson. Lyndon Johnson, prior to the damage that President Obama gave us, Lyndon Johnson, you ask any Republican prior to Obama, who was the worst president we ever had, the most destructive, everyone would say Lyndon Johnson, because of the Great Society. You know, his war on poverty created more poverty, destroyed the black family, and just was devastating. I don't want to go through the devastation of the Great Society, but it was one of the most destructive actions ever taken by a president, what Lyndon Johnson did. He was the worst until Obama. And what makes Obama so destructive is that, you know, President Obama, Mrs. Obama, and Valerie Jarrett are the three I'm going to focus in on the most today at that event at his library opening. But so many of the problems we have in the United States today are a direct result of Barack Obama. Now, on yesterday's show, I'm going to play this again. I played this in the pre-show, but I'm going to play it again. On yesterday's show, I played this poll from CNN about Americans being asked if they're proud of being an American.
What about this little hearing about proud to be an American? Okay, what about this idea, are you proud to be an American? Extremely or very proud to be an American? Again, look at this divide, a growing divide on this question. Back in January of 2001, 90% of Republicans, 85% of Democrats. This was after a very contentious 2000 election, keep in mind, right, with George W. Bush coming into the White House. You come over to this side of the screen in 2026, look at this. Again, the Democratic percentage absolutely plummets to just 29% of Democrats say they're extremely or very proud to be an American. That Republican percentage, the exact same.
Okay, so in January 2001, 85% of Democrats said they were proud to be an American. Just 5% less than Republicans. 15% of Democrats in January 01 said they were not proud to be an American. And he did reference the 2000 recount. That was, that was a crazy time. I'm not going to get sidetracked into that, but there was a lot of conflict in the country in that Bush v. Gore race. So fast forward to 2026, Republicans who are proud of being an American is at 90. 10% say they're not proud. Those are the never-Trumpers in the Republican Party, the rhinos. But according to this CNN poll, and it's also Gallup and NBC, 71%, think about this, 71% of Democrats say openly, that they're not proud to be an American. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. President Obama, and we heard it yesterday in everything that happened. Everything about President Obama is negative about what this great country is all about. That's all they're about, is bashing America. America owns the debt. All the problems in the world are American in the United States. This is how Valerie Jarrett opened up the event. And, you know, Valerie Jarrett, people, you know, when they think of Valerie Jarrett, they think about how she got Roseanne fired from her own television show on ABC, which was a disgrace, after she was supposedly not in power. But Valerie Jarrett is one of the people that was directly responsible for President Obama becoming president, right? She worked with him in the White House, had dinner with him every night. She was senior advisor. But in the years before, she was with the Obamas in Chicago. And then yesterday, she said this, opening up this event of the President Obama Presidential Library event.
We'd also like to take a moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the land upon which we are gathered today. We honor the Anishinaabe, the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi nations.
Okay, so President Obama's library and presidential center on U.S.-occupied Indian territory. And that's the worldview of the Obamas and those around them, like Valerie Jarrett. And that's what was running this country for 8 years. And what they did is not only a mass immigration of people like we've seen with the Somali pirates of Minneapolis, but they have, the Obamas, brainwashed 2 generations of Americans, okay? And of course, the generations I'm talking about are the millennials and Gen Z. And the reason that CNN poll shows that 71% of Democrats openly say they're not proud to be an American is because they are the Obama generation. They're raised with Obama's worldview, which is that the United States is responsible for everything. So my question, I'm going to play some of the clips and I'm going to go through and break them down after the first break. But why is it only the United States that's on occupied territory? Why not Canada? Canada's a big part of North America. They have more land than we do. Actually, it's a bigger country than the United States. Why is the United States on occupied Indian territory but not Canada? Same goes for Mexico and every nation in Central and South America. Why is it only the United States? Why isn't Peru on occupied Indian territory? You know why? Because the United States has all the money, and they want our money, and they want to suck us dry through USAID and all their other rackets. Can't get any money from Canada or Peru or Mexico. You can get it from Estados Unidos, that's why. But Obama not only brought, God only knows how many millions of people like Ilhan Omar and others to this country that hate our country, but they went on a massive recruiting drive for school teachers. And school teachers that think like Valerie Jarrett and President Obama are in American classrooms from pre-K through college. They did a massive recruitment drive, much like President Kennedy's call to public service. So the bureaucracy of every level of government, from local to the federal government, are filled with police chiefs and judges and principals and many others, and you know, that are in these roles that think like Valerie Jarrett. Hardcore, Afrocentric, racist, Marxist communist, who the only group of people they hate more than Americans, white Americans, are Jews, okay? They may even hate us more than they hate Jews. But this is why 71% of Democrats say today they are not proud to be an American. So after the first break, I want to get into more of this. And again, it is open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind today at 888-465-2631. Before we break, I want to, well, the number is 888-465-2631. But before we break, I want to check in with John over at Lighthouse Medical.
This is Brian. I'm at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. I'm with John. He is the Chief Operating Officer at Lighthouse Medical Center, but also the Director of Neuropathy Treatment. John, a lot of people may have neuropathy and not even know it. What are some of the signs and symptoms people may be experiencing?
Well, Brian, it's common that people will have numbness on the bottom of their feet, burning, tingling, can be pain or discomfort. One of the most common ones is balance problems, and people don't really have some of the other symptoms yet, but they notice their balance is a real issue. Some people can have one symptom, some people can have 8 symptoms, some people can have 3. It just depends on the person, but that's why we have to assess them individually.
I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother used to fall down all the time. She probably had neuropathy.
It's a possibility. Balance is one of the most important things to people's activities of daily living, going to the restroom, getting up, eating, just doing their normal things. So it's really important that we assess those patients for neuropathy so that we can ensure that they have a good quality of life.
So if someone thinks they have neuropathy, or maybe they have some of the symptoms you talked about, they can come in, you'll give them an examination and let them know.
Oh, yes. We're very extensive in our examinations. One of the biggest complaints from patients who have been to other doctors for neuropathy assessments is they do very minimal testing. We do very extensive testing, blood testing, genetic blood testing, overall health evaluations. We got to get someone's health optimized. It's not just about the neuropathy. It's about their lifestyle choices. It's about their diet. It's about their genetics. It's about correcting the blood work. It's something that we have to assess the patient as a whole to get them to a point where they don't have neuropathy anymore.
If you have neuropathy or think you may have neuropathy, call Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano right now and schedule your no-charge consultation. The number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
All right, we'll take a quick break and be right back. Okay, we're in radio break now, so if you're on hold, hang in there, and when we get back, I'm going to get into Michelle here, and, you know, what she said. I'm going to play this on the radio, but I'll play it for you guys during the break, right?
Livestock, the immigrants proving what it truly means to be a dreamer. These folks aren't Americans too. They are America.
Wow, okay, yeah, and one of the Obama dreamers, one of his precious dreamers, was the organizer and recruiter for the assassination attempt on the president, the vice president, the cabinet, and organized the terror plot that was foiled by Kash Patel at the UFC fight on Sunday night. That's what America is? You know, and you know, the thing about President Obama and Michelle Obama, they're part of a club that so few people have been a member of, right? President and First Lady, but 2-termers. Not every president gets 2 terms. And still, they're outcasts, they're victims. They're not accepted. I mean, it's really, in so many ways, she's sad. She's just sad, isn't she, Michelle Obama? Absolutely. A very sad person. You know, I mean, if you're still a victim when you're at that level, what the heck, right? I mean, you know, what could ever turn you around? Worth many millions of dollars, living in a mansion bigger than kings of Europe have lived in, and still a victim. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Let's be honest. How many hours? How many dead ends? How many wasted credits are you burning just trying to get AI to understand what you actually meant? You're not alone, but you can stop all the hassle. Go AISearchPrompt.com. Share the link on all your social media. AISearchPrompt.com is your platform. Are you tired of changing diapers and wondering when potty training will finally click? From author Kimberly Rich comes a practical, no-nonsense guide designed for busy parents just like you. Ditching the Diapers is an easy-to-follow book that provides a proven day-by-day plan to help your child make the transition from diapers to independence in just 7 days. With Ditching the Diapers, you'll discover how to recognize when your child is ready, how to prepare for success, handle accidents without stress, and celebrate every milestone along the way. It's real-world advice from someone who's been there and understands what parents are going through. Order your copy of Ditching the Diapers from author Kimberly Rich on Amazon. It also makes a great baby shower gift. Ditching the Diapers on Amazon.
Okay, we're just over a minute away from coming back. We're still in radio break. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll take some calls when we get back as I go through this. It was a disgrace of an event, right? It really was. It was an America hate event. And it's important to cover and understand because, you know, we had the whole secret coup conspirators against President Trump, all right? And President Trump was not even invited, which is good. We don't want our great President Trump associating with the Bushes and the Clintons and the Obamas, do you? We got about 30 seconds and we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. The number is 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're watching. It's pinned in the live chat. And Friday is open phones, open Mega Mike Friday. And on Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't even have to talk about the things that I'm talking about. And kind of the show prep, I always say, is up to you guys on Friday. And it is. And sometimes it's, you guys bring up some things that I've never considered. All right, stand by. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Take it off your phone.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Levy. I'm from Boca Raton.
All right. What's up, Boca?
So, say good morning. You've been listening to your show for 2 years.
I mean, who's talking to you in your ear? Okay, they're telling you what to say? You've been listening for years? Okay, I heard the person whispering to you.
I've been listening for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And this is the first time I've called. You keep on saying that the war against Iran is over, but you're teamed up with Israel, and soldiers in the north of Israel are still dying.
Say that again. What did you say? I say the war is over, but Israeli soldiers are dying.
In the north, yeah.
Okay. This is what, let me respond to you. And by the way, I could tell you're a child, right? That's your mom talking to you in the background?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 9.
9 years old. Okay. Well, welcome. It's summertime. You're out of school. When I was 9, I don't think I was up this early in the summertime, but okay.
I really like your show.
I said, when I say that the war is over, I didn't say all wars are over. I said a war is over. The war between the United States and Iran is over. The war between Russia and Ukraine is not over. And the war with Israel, and I guess Iran, because it's Iranian-backed in Lebanon, that war's not over. There's separate wars. The United States war with Iran is over, but that doesn't mean that the war that Israel is fighting is. There's separate wars. Okay, what does your mom want you to say about Trump?
Say, how do you feel that Trump made the peace that Israel's not included? How do you feel about Trump making peace?
I heard what Mom said. How do I feel about Trump making peace, but Israel is not included? That is not true, okay? Your mom is watching and getting bad and misinformation from somewhere, okay? Not only is Israel included, there's some very specific things involving Lebanon that Iran has to stop fighting in Lebanon, which hasn't quite happened yet, I guess, but that's part of the agreement. Israel is included in the agreement.
Okay.
Why is it Mom on the phone? Why is she putting you up to this?
Because I was the one that's been listening.
Well, that's
to
great. So you
everything.
just finished. What grade will you be in next year?
4th.
4th grade. Oh my goodness. Well, you did well. Call me again sometime. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Take care. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for calling. Well, thank you, and thank Mom. Going to be in 4th grade. Oh my goodness. Okay, were you? Well, I might have been up this early during the summer because my mom had to work, and maybe I would have to get up, and she'd have to like take me to my grandparents or something while she went to work. So, but to be up at 6:24 in the a.m. at 9 as a kid during the summer, they were pretty awake there. But I think I answered their questions. If you're on hold, hang in there. I want to play this clip of Mrs. Obama giving her, this is just one clip of her speech. I want to play more of this in a little bit, but this is Mrs. Obama at the President Obama event yesterday. Illegal dreamers are the beating heart of America. That's what Mrs. Obama just said. Wow. Now, of course, I was the first one to break this on the air, and now it's being widely reported. But one of the dreamers that are the heartbeat of America was the plotter behind this assassination attempt of the entire cabinet at the MMA fight and of the terrorist event. Right? A dreamer, one of Obama's precious DACA recipients who overstayed his visa and welcome. But he'll be here for a long time now because he's going to prison for a long, long time. Oh, let me see here. Let's go. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Doc from Texas.
Oh, hey, Doc from Texas. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth to you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy Juneteenth.
What are you
Happy
doing for
Juneteenth.
What are you doing for Juneteenth?
Actually, I'm at work today.
Okay. Do you know what Juneteenth is?
You know what? I'm not doing that with you today.
Okay, so you
But
don't.
trying
Okay,
to
well,
do
happy
that.
Juneteenth.
I do. Actually, I do. And don't explain it to me because I don't want. You don't believe in Juneteenth, so don't even talk about it to me.
Oh, I believe
Don't
in
even say
it.
nothing about
I
it.
believe in it. I wish you
No,
happy
you don't.
Juneteenth.
No, you don't.
Happy
No, you
Juneteenth.
don't. No,
Okay.
you don't.
Okay. Why'd you call
You know,
today? Why'd you call today?
I'm calling for you. You was talking about Barack. I don't leave that man alone. That man he's retired. He's living his best life. Leave him
No,
alone.
President Obama, Mrs. Obama, Valerie Jarrett, and scumbag actor Tom Hanks went on an American-hating live event that was carried on television yesterday, and
that was not American. Brian, how was American hating? How? Brian,
well, they
talk-
began.
say
Okay,
anything
they
bad about
began.
America.
They began by Valerie Jarrett telling us that the President Obama Presidential Library is on stolen Indian land, which means the United States is not a legitimate country. We're an illegal occupier of the land that we call the United States. That's not anti-American to you?
Brian, if I didn't know the United States that they stole the land from the Indians.
Really?
so-
What about Canada?
Brian,
Did Canada steal the land?
They probably did.
What
They
about
probably
Mexico?
did.
What about Mexico?
Mexico, Texas was stolen from Mexico.
Well, why are Mexicans, who are, by the way, descendants of Europeans as well, Spaniards, why are the European descendants of Mexico considered not on stolen land, but we are?
Brian, we stole the land from the Indians, and
Well,
Brian,
but
that's
didn't
what I'm
wait,
saying.
wait a minute? What about like
Brian,
Brazil and Argentina? Did they steal that
I'm
land?
not worried about it. I don't live there. I live in the United
The
States of
Mayans,
America.
the Incas?
So why? What I'm saying is, why are y'all so worried about? That was a good thing yesterday. Y'all think what you're really mad about because Michelle Obama and Barack had a good speeches, and you just mad because everybody loves them, and that's the bottom line. All people that love Trump, people like you.
If everybody loved them, why was President Trump elected to a second and non-consecutive term if nobody loves us and everybody loves President Obama?
Because he talks. I gotta admit, he talks a good game. He talks a good
so he's
game.
a con man.
And that's,
President Obama is a con man. Oh, okay, so you're saying President Trump?
No, Brian. President Trump is a con man.
President Trump's a con man.
You know what? I'm tired of dealing with people like you because it makes me mad that y'all, people like you, we just can't get along with each other.
So let me ask you. You said, you made this statement. It was interesting that Texas. It's very interesting what you said. You said Texas was stolen from Mexico. So what are you doing there? Why are you living on this occupied Mexican territory?
Because I'm living in Texas.
Yeah, but why don't you? But you're with you're supporting Mexico.
Where am I go? This is my home. Where am I go?
I don't know.
Why are you living in Florida?
Oh, because Florida is a beautiful state. I love it here. My parents brought me here when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't come here by choice. My parents brought me here. They didn't ask me.
Why don't you leave? If you don't like it, leave.
Oh, Florida's the best state of all. Florida's the best state of all.
Well, okay, it is what it is.
But I'm not claiming that Florida is occupied territory like you are with Texas.
What I'm saying is, why can't we just stop this?
Why can't we get along? Because Democrats won't let us.
We all get along. Y'all won't let us. You know what? I'm gonna make a deal with you. Let's make a deal with you. Stop talking about. I don't talk bad about Republicans. I got Republican friends. One of my best friends in the world, and he works with me. He's a diehard Trump lover, and I love him to death. That's my best friend in this world.
Yeah.
And we joke about Trump all this. We joke about Trump, and I know he's diehard Trump, and he knows me, and I know him. But we're the best friends in this world.
Really? But you believe that MAGA people are racist and all these things. Why would you love a man who's racist?
I'm not saying MAGA people are racist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
okay, so we're good people. So MAGA, we are good people in the MAGA movement. We're good people, a good group.
There's some good people.
Doc, I gotta run for a break, but have a very happy Juneteenth. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Fluoride is the longest running radio show. We'll be right back. Boy, oh boy, Doc, he's in a mood. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
Are you carrying stress, anxiety, self-doubt, or emotional wounds that seem impossible to move beyond? You're not alone, but there is help at TransMend, where you will find licensed mental health therapist Kyla, who helps adults just like you throughout Virginia and Hawaii find healing, clarity, and lasting personal growth through compassionate telehealth counseling, guided by the powerful philosophy of mend and transcend. Kyla helps clients address the experiences, the patterns, and the beliefs that may be holding them back while building the resilience, confidence, and skills needed to move forward with purpose. Whether you're navigating trauma, anxiety, life transitions, self-esteem challenges, or simply seeking greater emotional wellness, TransMend offers a personalized, trauma-informed, and holistic approach designed to create meaningful, long-term change. Kyla is also author of a guided coloring and journaling book that features original reflections, journal prompts, and poetry created to inspire healing, mindfulness, self-discovery, as well as personal growth. If you're ready to mend what has been weighing you down and transcend your experience into your next chapter, as well as learn more about Kyla's book, visit transmend.com. That's TransMend. Transmend.com. Mend and transcend. Do you ever feel overwhelmed before your day even begins?
30.
Like your to-do list is running your life. Your motivation has disappeared, and no matter how hard you try, you're stuck. From author Victoria Magic comes a refreshing, down-to-earth book that will help you stop waiting for motivation and start building it one small step at a time. From overwhelmed to empowered, a practical guide to self-motivation in everyday life. Available on Amazon. With this must-read book, you'll learn simple, proven techniques to beat procrastination, quiet negative self-talk, reduce stress, boost productivity, and create lasting momentum. There's no unrealistic routines, no complicated systems, just practical, actionable tools that fit into real life, even on your busiest days. Whether you're a working parent, caregiver, student, or busy professional, author Victoria Magic shows you how to turn that feeling of being overwhelmed into action, build confidence, and make meaningful progress without guilt, pressure, or burnout. Order your copy right now on Amazon in Kindle and paperback and start making progress one small, powerful step at a time. From overwhelmed to empowered, a practical guide to self-motivation in everyday life from author Victoria Magic on Amazon.
All right, we'll be back in about 30 seconds, 35 seconds, and I'll go right back to the phones. If you're on hold, hang in there. Oh, man, I tell you, Doc, anyone believe that he's in love with a man who's his best friend in the world, who's a MAGA guy? Any of you guys believe that? Nope. No, I don't either. Okay, 25 seconds, we'll be back. No. Stand by. All right, we're back, and you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sammy Belford. I'm from Fillmore, about 100 miles off Buffalo.
Okay, you're 100 miles from... All right, speak up, Buffalo, north of Buffalo.
I'm calling to tell you that you do a great podcast and that President Trump is the best president this world has seen.
Correct.
And I would like to ask you a question.
Here we go. Yes. Turn down the volume. Turn down the volume of the whatever device you're listening on in the background. I know you want to hear yourself, but there's a delay. So get to the question.
Okay, I was wondering if you could tell me who destroyed the reflecting pool and why.
Okay, there we go. All right. There was I will answer his question, but there was a word before that we can't do. So I hope you got that. Hit the dump, Mike. First dump of the day. Second call. First dump on Open MAGA Mike Friday. There's one opening on the board. We'll wait for the delay to re-engage before we go back to the phones. But he had asked me who destroyed the effing reflecting pool in Washington. That I'm not sure. I am very positive that there was sabotage involved in the reflecting pool. And the reason I believe that is there's too much damage too quick in the reflecting pool. The algae is growing too quick. I've never seen algae grow in swimming pools as fast as this. But there is some type of sabotage. Whether it's people dumping algae in it, I don't know. But the reflecting pool has been sabotaged. There's no getting around it. That's it. I mean, isn't it obvious? This is how and I hope they catch who did it. Because what they're doing, they could face 10 years in federal prison for what they're. If it's people dumping algae and things, they could face 10 years in federal prison for the destruction of a monument. This is how desperate the Democrats are to get something negative to say about President Trump, right? That they're out there sabotaging the reflecting pool. I've seen swimming pools of all different sizes here in Florida in homes pretty much abandoned. Because, in fact, I was just the other day. There's a house on the street over that's been for sale for quite some time because the people that live there have died, and their kids are asking too much for the house. But the grass is overgrown and everything. The landscaping's overgrown, and I got to look at the pool, and there was no algae in the pool, and there's been no pool service. It takes a while for algae to grow, and here in Florida, the temperatures are close to 100 degrees most every day. All right, the delay is re-engaged. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Kevin from New York.
Yeah, New York. What's up?
Hey, Brian, it's me, Kevin from Grindr. You remember when we met and you...
No, I don't. Oh, my goodness. We almost had to do another dump. He was building up to it. Oh, my goodness. Yes. I've got a strong following of gays in the audience, obviously so. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
John, Colorado.
Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Here we go. Yes.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to pause this here so
Yeah.
I don't have both the volume coming through you and the headset there. Man, I'm just kind of wondering here. I'm not trying to be rude or anything,
Of
but
course.
how is it that Democrats are the party of hate when you can sarcastically say Happy Juneteenth to somebody over the phone? Or, I mean, even
It wasn't
talking over that
sarcastic.
9-year-old
It
kid.
wasn't. First off, I didn't know the kid was 9 when they first called, and if you go back to that call, when I realized they were a child, the tone of the conversation changed 100%. Correct?
Yeah. Which
Okay.
was awesome.
Okay.
That was very
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah,
So you're a little dishonest there.
But,
And so far as
okay,
Juneteenth,
so
no,
my
excuse
mistake,
me.
my mistake.
Excuse me. Let's talk about Juneteenth.
Okay, I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Why? You accused me of two things that were not true. The first one you admitted was not true. It
wasn't an accusation.
No. You said I was rude to that 19. You said I was rude to that 9-year-old. As soon as I found out they were 9, the whole discussion changed.
Okay.
Did you notice?
Slow down. I didn't say that. Now let's not try and turn this thing around here. I actually
I
have
know.
some questions about tax money and things
No,
like that. I'm
no.
wondering what
You
your
made
thoughts
another.
are
You
on
made
it.
another comment. You said you made some comment that I was sarcastic with the Happy Juneteenth to Doc. What do you base that on?
Yeah, that sounded very sarcastic. But honestly, I was just wondering, what are your thoughts on the $14 million that was spent in the reflection pool?
Well, I'll get to the reflection pool in a moment, but today, no, excuse me. Excuse me, I am speaking, and if you don't allow me to speak, I'm going to hang up on you.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Continue.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you meant hang up. Good, continue. So far as Juneteenth, no, I wasn't being sarcastic about Juneteenth. In fact, every year on Juneteenth, I talk about Juneteenth. It's an important day. Do you know what Juneteenth is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What is it?
The liberation and freedom of slaves?
Nope.
That didn't have to be slaves anymore?
Nope.
Oh, what is it?
What's so funny about slavery? You're laughing.
That you're telling me that I'm wrong is actually...
Well, you've been wrong. You've been wrong. You've admitted you've been wrong. You were wrong about the call with the 9-year-old. Now you're wrong about this. No, the slaves...
All I said was
the slaves were freed by the Republicans under President Lincoln January 1st, 1863. Juneteenth was June 19th, 1865. All right, 2.5 years later. So it does not signify the freedom of the slaves. That was 2.5 years earlier. No, what it signifies is when the Republican Union Army that put down the insurrection of the Democrats, known as the Civil War, when they arrived in Texas and told the slaves of Texas, who were still being held in bondage by the Democrats in Texas, that they were free. And I bring it up every year, and I talk about it every year.
Yeah, fully freeing the slaves. Yes, exactly.
Another Republican freeing the slaves from Democrat bondage in Texas, June 19th, 1865. You don't even know what it is.
Sure.
Now you do.
But
now
let's
you
get back
do.
towards that tax money question. But let's get back to that, and I thank you for that so very much. But if
Oh,
you
yes.
could get
Now
back
who's
to that
being
money about the
sarcastic?
tax question.
Yeah.
If we could get back to that question on taxes.
What about
How
it?
do you feel about $14 million spent on fixing, quote unquote, fixing the reflection pool when the paint is already coming up off the bottom? It looks absolutely terrible.
In
But
fact,
including
that's
that,
also not true. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
There's videos all
Slow down.
YouTube
No,
service.
if you there's videos. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. Yeah. There.
Yeah, and so on top of that, there was
Excuse me, I'm
$314
speaking.
million,
Excuse
which are taking
me for speaking while you're
federal
interrupting
tax
again.
dollars from us.
Excuse me for speaking while you're interrupting again.
Sir, you've done it the entire time as well.
Well, it's my show. The mic is mine. I allow people like you to join me who are gentlemen and gentle ladies. Okay? Which you're not either. So far as the reflecting pool, the images that we're seeing are not paint, but debris that's been thrown in there, a lot of them at least, because I've seen some of these online on X. I was looking at them this morning. But there's some type of sabotage going on at the reflecting pool by people that are Democrats, that are liberals and never Trumpers. There's some type of sabotage going on, vandalism of the reflecting pool.
Well, so there's definitely vandalism going on around the reflecting pool.
In
Absolutely.
it. There is some type of sabotage going on. There is sabotage going on.
In it, there's a person who said that he actually used to work on pools, and he pulled the paint up, and he said this is an epoxy that is very hard to deal with. That's coming up.
I don't know. I know this. I know this. Okay. I have seen. I live in a state, Florida. I'm in South Florida, that has more swimming pools, are probably in the state of Florida than all the other states combined. Okay. It truly is. Okay. I have never seen something like this happen with any swimming pool of any kind that's been neglected for weeks and even months. There's some type of sabotage going on by someone or multiple people. It's obvious. Who and what, we don't know yet. Hopefully we will.
Or maybe let's just say the job was done by a company. They did it super cheap. They did it let's just say they did a terrible job.
Well, well, then you agree with, if that's true.
Let's say.
No, you listen to me.
That's either
Hold on. If what you said is true, okay.
That wouldn't be sabotage. That's if somebody did a bad job.
No, it would that would be if what you said is true, which we don't know, but say the company, did a cheap job to rip off the federal government, right? That would be sabotage as well and corruption. And if that's true, they should be prosecuted and go to jail because that would be a federal crime.
Okay, so now my next question, I'm getting somewhere. So
I can tell. Where are you getting? Corruption. Making yourself look foolish? You've already done mission accomplished. You've already made yourself look foolish.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. I'm glad I did. I'll take it. I'll take it from you. That's great. So we're getting somewhere with that kind of corruption and things like that. Like I said, at the beginning of his term, he said that it would be about $60 million to build the ballroom, but now they're going to be taking about $314 million of federal taxes from the people to help finish their ballroom.
Okay, good question.
How do you feel about that?
Good question. And by the way, I love how all these liberals are fiscally conservative. Meanwhile, we have the Somali pirates of Minneapolis stealing billions, Gavin Newsom's California Democrats stealing billions, but this they're upset about. What's happened with no, there's no add-on. I'm up against a break, and I don't have much time, so I'm till the break. I'm late for the break, but I'm going to respond.
Sure.
The ballroom.
Democrats are terrible people. Democrats are terrible people when it comes to being Democratic,
correct.
Republican.
All right, I got to let you go because you won't talk, but I'm going to say this about the ballroom, then we'll break. The ballroom, I have said this from before anyone. The ballroom is a cover operation. The ballroom, the East Wing that was torn down, that part of the White House is where the bunker is, for the presidential bunker. The bunker that's down there was built when Truman was president. It's out of date, it's small, it doesn't work, and it's not up to the threats of today. The ballroom itself is a cover to build a new modern presidential bunker. The ballroom, it's not really a ballroom. The ballroom, it's a front. We're not supposed to know about this, but the cover's been blown because of these idiot Democrats. It is a secure place where the entire government can operate if there's a nuclear strike, an EMP, or all kinds of other things. And it is an armored bunker for the president and the executive branch of government, including the cabinet, to be able to run the country if we were attacked. That's why there's a drone defense port being put on top of it. There's a hospital that's included in the ballroom. There's the bunker underneath. You guys know this. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our last break of the first hour and be right back.
You're exhausted, so why can't you sleep? If you work work nights, rotating shifts, early starts, or long hours, you already know the problem. Most sleep advice assumes you sleep at night. But what if your job won't let you? You can get the sleep you need. You just need the right help and guidance. And that's what you will find in the Shift Worker Sleep Fix, a practical system to sleep deeply on any rotation from author Sam Calloway, available on Amazon. The Shift Worker Sleep Fix is a practical, actionable guide specifically for people just like you who keep the world running after dark. Nurses, paramedics, truck drivers, factory workers, security professionals, hospitality staff, and more. In this must-read and life-changing book, you'll discover simple, real-world strategies for sleeping during the day, managing rotating schedules, creating the perfect sleep environment, and handling caffeine, meals, and days off without throwing your routine into chaos. You'll also get easy-to-follow shift-specific plans, printable cheat sheets, and a complete 14-day starter program designed to help you take control of your sleep schedule. Order your copy right now on Amazon and free with Kindle Unlimited. The Shift Worker Sleep Fix, a practical system to sleep deeply on any rotation from author Sam Calloway on Amazon. Some of the most meaningful gifts don't come from big companies, they come from family. At Selena's Studio Art on Etsy, every design begins the same way, with a mother, a pencil, and a lifetime of imagination. For years, she created hand-drawn characters for children's books. Funny, playful, and full of heart. Her work was recognized around the world, featured in magazines, and loved by generations of children. Now those same drawings come to life. Coloring books, puzzles, posters, even home decor. Each piece at Selena's Studio Art on Etsy carries the warmth of a real story and the care of a real family. Every item is made with premium materials, carefully produced, and designed to bring lasting joy. Whether it's a gift for someone you love or something special just for you, Selena's Studio Art on Etsy has it. It's a legacy. Discover unique handcrafted designs that make people smile. Only at selenastudioart.etsy.com. That's selenastudioart.etsy.com.
All right, I'll go back to the phones when we get back. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. We got just over a minute until we're back. And remember, Friday is the one day a week you can call in about any and everything on your mind, and you don't have to even comment on what I brought up. It's open phones every Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And the number is toll-free, no matter where you're watching, and it's pinned in the live chat. Less than a minute, we'll be back. All right. Oh, boy. No, and those of you who take issue with me, I welcome those calls. But have the conversation etiquette of the 9-year-old who called, okay? Take turns. Don't have run-on sentences going from one question to the next. You ask me a question, I'll answer it. All right, we'll go back to the phones when we get back. 20 seconds. Hang in there. I'm glad it's the weekend, I'll tell you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Chris from Illinois.
Hey, Chris. Speak up a little bit, if you don't mind.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Chris from Illinois.
All right, Brian. Which angle are we taking here?
What angle? You called me, man.
Well, correct. I believe you're a MAGA supporter, correct?
Absolutely. Can't you see my hat on YouTube? Make America Great Again.
Right. I mean, so I just have one fairly question, I guess.
Sure.
Are you just streaming on YouTube, or are you streaming on multiple platforms?
I am on, I've lost track of how many radio stations live in Morning Drive in Florida.
Right, but I'm talking about as far as live stream.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not here to tell you everything I do. Who are you?
Okay, a little defensive.
Not defensive. I mean, why do you? I mean, what's your problem with MAGA? Why would I be scared of some anonymous guy in Chicago? Get off the phone, fool. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Brandon from Connecticut.
Connecticut. What's up?
just wanted to call. I really enjoy your show, and
Here we go again,
I
Mike.
think that all the liberals listening should probably do a little bit of research before they get on here and start talking to you. And
Yeah.
I live in one of the most liberal states in the country. It's terrible.
Where are you calling from? Oh, Connecticut?
Connecticut, yeah.
Yeah, I have some good friends of mine are from Connecticut. You know, they come to Florida. It's like they've escaped East Germany.
Yeah, my sister moved to Florida in 2001 and never came back.
You know, it's funny. I meet people that move to Florida from some of these blue areas, Connecticut, Washington State and everything else. And I've lived in Florida since I was 11 years old. So I don't know anything different other than freedom. And when people come here from other states, it's amazing how free they feel. It's the greatest state, Florida.
Yeah, no, I was listening to the guy that called before that doesn't want to listen to anything and keeps talking about the pool lining pulling up or whatever and not knowing about Juneteenth.
I mean, how would listen, in Florida, see, I am like one of the few houses on my street without a swimming pool. And I don't have a swimming pool I didn't get a swimming pool because when we bought this house, my daughter was 5, and I used to do the sound at the church that we used to go to. It's kind of like I was the board out for the church services, and sometimes they would have me do sound during funerals, and I did the sound for a funeral of a child between the age of 2 and 5. I can't remember how old they were, who died in the swimming pool in the backyard.
That's terrible.
And so when we bought this house, we purposely bought a house without a pool because my daughter was just turning 5 and I was just paranoid and worried. But I'm pretty much one of maybe only 2 houses on the street without a pool. There are more swimming pools in Florida than anywhere else in the world. I mean, it's just everywhere, right? I have never seen with any swimming pool, new or old, algae, even when they're not maintained, algae grow this fast or the bottom come up. Okay, it's absolutely sabotage. I have no doubt it's sabotage. No doubt. 100%.
We work on pools all the time, and we don't get algae like that. It's added in.
Absolutely. And they're saying
it doesn't grow as quickly as they're saying it.
And they're saying, well, it's the heat. I got news for you. It's like 98 degrees every day here where I live, and I've never seen anything like this. Ever. No one has.
And humid.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So there's definitely something in play here that we don't know. And I don't know if they'll ever get to the bottom of it. I don't know what's involved in sabotaging algae. I'm skeptical about the bottom ripping up because I saw some videos on X this morning that said it's debris at the bottom of the reflecting pool, that people have already thrown trash and debris in it, and they're taking pictures, and that's what it is. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, and be safe in Connecticut, okay, where people are not free. I want to tell you guys about Friendly Tire in Margate. Friendly Tire in Margate, they're absolutely amazing. He's been with us on this program for at least 10 years, probably longer, and I've been a customer of Friendly Tire in Margate for about 20 years. And you get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. And that's been his prices for many years. We found them. Steve Kane, when we had our studio in Coral Springs that we broadcast from, which was actually right down the street from Wings Plus on Sample Road. And Steve would always come in and he'd tell me, "Oh, I just got new tires." And I would tell him, "Go to Friendly Tire." And he'd, "Oh, it's too late. I already got tires." And one day he came to the studio with tires that had they were just totally worn off. You could see the threads and everything else in the tires. And I said, "Go to Friendly Tire," and I called Mike, and he gave me a quote over the phone. It was $75 a tire, and that was on Steve's. This was years. It was on his Toyota Sienna van that he used to have, and Steve didn't believe me. You could tell he doesn't believe me oftentimes when you hear him on the air. And I gave him directions. He went over there, and he called me like 10 minutes later. He's like, "You won't believe it, Brian. The tire's only $75 each, new." I said, I've been telling you. And the next day we were doing spots for them on the air. And even many years later, you can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. That's on common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road. Call Friendly Mike. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445. Make sure you tell him I sent you. He'll take extra good care of you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug. Yeah,
Okay.
Doug's a Friendly Tire customer because Mike's always telling me, oh, Doug was in here.
Doug was in there? I missed what you said. Say it again, please.
I said, I was just doing the commercial for Friendly Tire, and many times I've heard you were just in there getting tires.
Oh, yeah, man. I know what it was. I mean, he's great. I love Mike. Mike's a great guy.
Friendly.
Great prices.
That's
and,
right.
Like you always say, he does repairs, and nobody wants to do repairs anymore, and he does it for a great price.
Yep. All right. What's on your mind, Doug? I've got a minute left.
Just want to say quickly, when I mentioned when I was at the Giuliani fundraiser, and I sat next to
Joan Rivers.
Anyway, there was a lot of other conservatives there that people don't know. There was Larry Gatlin. There was Paul Sorvino, one of my favorite actors.
Paul Sorvino. Oh my goodness, he's passed away. Mira Sorvino's father. He was in Goodfellas. He was the mob boss in Goodfellas.
Oh yeah, he was great. He was in Oh God. He did
Paulie.
I love that guy.
He was Paulie in Goodfellas.
Yeah, Paulie. That's right. And then there was also Ron Silva. And when I
he's dead too.
I was shocked with Mayor Koch was there. I said to Mayor Koch, "What are you doing there? You're a Democrat."
It sounds like you were at the dinner at the Haunted Mansion at Disney World. You dined with a bunch of people that are all dead. Hey, I'm out of time. It's 7:00. Thanks, Doug. We'll be right back. All right, it's top of the hour break, and we'll come back, and I'll get back. If you're on hold, stand by. After the top of the hour break, I'll get back into the topic at hand. The topic at hand, which, of course, are the Obamas. I'm going to go through some of the things that Michelle Obama said. If you're on hold, stand by. And if you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free and pinned in the live chat. And guys, please don't forget to like the video, okay? If you don't mind. You know, when you like the video, it helps so much, guys. It gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. And if after you like the video, if you get that hype option, if you do that, that'd be great too. But and I know a lot of you have been liking the video, and I want to thank all of you for doing that. It does help a lot grow the channel. How do you get there? Okay. I've lost all my, I'm looking for something. Oh, here it is. Good. All right. Stand by, everyone. Stand by. Okay. We'll be back in just over 2 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, guys, and when we get back, I'll go back to the calls, and we got a lot more to cover, too.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years. Storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract. Also, deposits are not required. At Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust, and we will. So on the web at LaportaRoofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at LaportaRoofing.com.
Let's be honest. How many hours? How many dead ends? How many wasted credits are you willing to try to get AI to understand what you actually meant? You're not alone, but you can stop all the hassle. Go to AISearchPrompt.com. AISearchPrompt.com is the Google search engine for AI prompts. AI prompt marketplace for everyone. AISearchPrompt.com. Share the link on all your social media. AISearchPrompt.com is your platform.
All right, we got about 30 seconds, guys, and we'll be back. We'll take more calls, and I'm going to get into more of what the Obamas did. All right, we got 25 seconds. We'll be back. Oh, man. It was a disgrace what they did yesterday. It was really sad. Really sad. All right. Okay, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. If you're on hold, stand by. The 7 o'clock hour has begun, and if you missed the first hour, holy smokes, you missed a lot. You got to go watch it. Watch it on my YouTube channel. Brian Crick Show on YouTube. We had some good calls in the first hour. Hopefully, it'll continue for the next 1 hour and 56 minutes. But I want to get back to what really was a national disgrace yesterday, and that was President Obama, Mrs. Obama, and the crew at the opening of the President Obama Presidential Center and Library. Doesn't the building look like a prison? I wonder why that is. But I played a couple of clips in the first hour from it, but I wanted to play an extended portion here of Mrs. Obama. This is really just sad and filled with a lot of misinformation. Let's go through it. Oh.
8 years in the crucible.
The crucible. Okay, that's the White House. It's suffering to be in the White House. To be the first black first lady, Mrs. Obama, shouldn't she be a little more happy as opposed to saying it was torture, the crucible? Oppression. Isn't it, what I've often said about President Obama, if you were to write a history of the civil rights movement, I don't know where it would begin exactly in this country. You can begin at your 1619 fantasies if you like, but it would certainly end with the inauguration of President Obama, the first black president, first black first lady of the United States, Mrs. Obama. But to her, it was torture. It was, the crucible. That's for sure. Mm. Oh my goodness. Okay, now this here, the birthright, the birth certificate. You know, this blows me away because sitting behind President Obama and Mrs. Obama is President Clinton and Mrs. Clinton. The person who first brought up President Obama's birth certificate was Mrs. Clinton when she was running against him in the '08 primary, okay? It was not the Republicans. It was not Trump. Now, Trump put a spotlight on it later, and he released a document that he said was his birth certificate and all. But it was Mrs. Clinton who first brought that up. But Michelle left that out. Your faith. Now remember, your faith. Okay. The birth certificate, that was Mrs. Clinton. His faith, that came from another Democrat connected to the Clintons as well, George Stephanopoulos of ABC. Remember this? Okay. George Stephanopoulos is interviewing Obama, and Obama in the interview, he asks him about his faith, and Obama says, "My Muslim faith," and then George Stephanopoulos corrected him and said, "You mean your Christian faith?" And he said, "Oh yeah." So both of the things that Mrs. Obama has brought up here are things that happened, one by Mrs. Clinton and the second by President Obama himself in that Stephanopoulos interview. These are not things that Republicans or Donald Trump did. These are things that Mrs. Clinton did and President Obama himself did in that Stephanopoulos interview. It's amazing how, you know, they view the events that we live through in an alt reality. Well, okay, the patriotism. Boy, oh boy, this is just a bunch of, this is just, oh, I'm having flashbacks to the Obama years. The patriotism. You know where this came up? They forget everything. When Senator Obama was running for president in '08, he was not wearing something that every other senator, House member, and presidential candidate and president wear. Do you know what it was? What was he not wearing? I'm not going to troll for, if you're on hold, stand by. He was not wearing something that everyone else did and still does today. You know what it was? He did not wear an American flag lapel pin. And a big issue was made of this. People noticed, why is Senator Obama not wearing an American flag lapel pin? And even after it became a discussion, he wouldn't wear one. Then a veteran at some rope handshake event handed him one on television. Then Senator Obama began wearing the lapel flag pin every other day because he didn't want to show too much bias. Remember that? He would wear it every other day. He'd wear it one day, not the next. Wear it then not the next. It was so bizarre. And he was embarrassed into doing that because this veteran handed him one in front of the press corps. That's also not true. They live on, are they from a parallel universe? Or is this the Mandela effect that I'm experiencing? This thing that if he did not say that if he had a son, he'd be black. This was during the Trayvon Martin incident, which was a very racially charged, divisive incident. And he was speaking at the White House and said, if he had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. And he was siding with Trayvon Martin against George Zimmerman during this controversial period. No one questioned whether or not if he had a son, he'd be black. He was very specific. If I had a son, he would look like Trayvon, he said. I don't know. Is this the Mandela effect I'm in right now? Is it? And that when he said that about Trayvon Martin, this was during the birth of Black Lives Matter. Racial tensions were high, and he just poured gasoline and kerosene and accelerant on a bonfire of racial division. If I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. Well, I'm not going to go through everything she says. I'm not going to comment on every syllable, but those were, I mean, I'll play a little bit more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He didn't save an auto industry, okay? And he didn't get bin Laden because he wanted to. When he was running against Mitt Romney in that campaign before the Democrat convention, they realized that they did not have a campaign slogan. So, and when he bailed out GM, he didn't bail out the auto industry. He bailed out the retirement program at General Motors. What we found with General Motors during this is, and of course the unions, he needed the auto union vote in that election year, that General Motors, what their main business was retirement homes, right? They made cars as a sideline. So far as the bin Laden raid, we knew where bin Laden was for years, and he would not okay that strike time and time again. And the final time that they sent in SEAL Team 6, they sent him in without him knowing at the time. And then if you remember, Obama and Biden got SEAL Team 6 killed because they released the classified information on who did it. And then Al-Qaeda launched a secret operation inside the Taliban and killed SEAL Team 6. So we got them killed. But they had that slogan, bin Laden's dead, GM's alive. That was their whole slogan, and that's why they did both of those things. Remember, he got the Peace Prize before he took the oath of office for future expectations. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's Mrs. Obama. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I want to take a moment to talk about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Right now, Mike Lindell just dropped this yesterday at MyPillow.com. The MyPillow 250th Anniversary of America sale, up to 50% off MyPillow products made in the USA. Go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, to save up to 50% off. These are some of the most popular MyPillow products, up to 50% off of products made in the USA at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone toll-free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. One opening on the board at 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. All right, guys, hang in there.
certified licensed mental health therapist, Kyla, who helps adults just like you throughout Virginia and Hawaii find healing, clarity, and lasting personal growth through compassionate telehealth counseling. Guided by the powerful philosophy, Mend and Transcend, Kyla helps clients address the experiences, the patterns, and the beliefs that may be holding them back while building the resilience, confidence, and skills needed to move forward with purpose. Whether you're navigating trauma, anxiety, life transitions, self-esteem challenges, or simply seeking greater emotional wellness, Transmend offers a personalized, trauma-informed, and holistic approach designed to create meaningful, long-term change. Kyla is also author of a guided coloring and journaling book that features original reflections, journal prompts, and poetry created to inspire healing, mindfulness, self-discovery, as well as personal growth. If you're ready to mend what has been weighing you down and transcend your experience into your next chapter, as well as learn more about Kyla's book, visit transmend.com. That's TRANSMEND. Transmend.com. Mend and transcend.
All right, we're still in radio break, so if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take the calls when we get back from the radio break. Now, I was telling you guys yesterday that Iran surrendered, and people were laughing at me all day and getting really pissed off at me throughout the show, including Richie and JJ. I was very surprised at JJ. Well, here's the president being interviewed by Axios yesterday.
Well, by far. Who else could have done a blockade like that? I did a naval blockade where not one ship was able to get through. Some tried. It didn't last very long.
And it certainly brought Iran to the table more than before. However, beginning a conflict, you had talked about you only wanted unconditional surrender. And, well, the MOU doesn't look like unconditional surrender.
Well, it really probably is unconditional surrender.
See, President Trump says it's unconditional surrender. So I was right, unless you don't believe President Trump. We'll be back in 1 minute. Callers on hold, stand by. One opening, the number's pinned in the live chat, toll free, 888-465-2631. The president says it was surrender. If you'd like to call in, please do. And as you can hear, I take calls from people who agree and disagree. And you can, on Friday, it is open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. All right? We're about 30 seconds away from coming back. Stand by. Oh boy, we're halfway through the show already. We've been on 90 minutes. Almost halfway. 15 seconds, we'll be back. Mm-hmm. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, Brian, good morning. Daryl Pastuch calling from Tequesta, Florida. How you
All
doing?
right, Tequesta, what's on your mind?
Well, a couple things. I was listening to your show. Have you had any painting contractors calling about that pool problem with the president's pool?
I've had some liberals that have commented about it, but no one that has an expertise in painting of pools, no.
Well, I can tell you, I know, I hear you talking about sabotage, but when you're painting a pool finish, it's probably one of the most difficult projects you can do. If the concrete is not cured long enough, it won't bond.
Mm-hmm.
The paint will not bond to the surface.
Yep.
That's number one. Number two, concrete is extremely hot. If they did it during the day on a hot day, put the paint down too thick, it never had a chance to bond. It has to soak into the concrete.
Uh-huh.
That's why we use primers. Primers are always, if you ever see primers, they're always very thin. That's because they want to go. You need them to go in.
So you're a painter.
I'm a retired painting contractor.
Okay, so what you're hold on a second here. So what you're suggesting, it may be possible that an incompetence, stupidity, or a con job by the company that did the job.
It's not a con job. It wasn't. No, it's not a con job. They just didn't know what they were doing. They should have Mars-sighted it. If I would have done something like that, I would have said, hey, concrete guy, can we throw a bunch of white, whatever color pigment, whatever color the finish is, I don't know what it looked like, but they want it blue, let's throw blue pigment in the concrete, and we build this thing out. It's all.
But I'm not convinced that the paint is peeling because
It is peeling. I was watching them on the news.
I've seen a lot of things on the news.
Peeling up.
No, I've seen some images of debris that people have thrown in as well that they're saying is paint that's not.
Okay, listen. Painting underwater is extremely difficult.
Yes.
It has to bond properly. You
Yes.
have to make sure they put it on too thick.
Okay,
What it
so
looks like to me is
you believe your professional opinion is that the company that did it is incompetent.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They didn't understand the temperature. The concrete was way too hot. They rolled it on extremely thick, and I'm seeing what they're.
That's
pulling out of the
possible.
pool. I'm watching
That
them pull it out.
you do have an expertise. I can tell by what you're saying, and
Right, the
that's
problem is, Brian,
entirely possible.
It's got to be done in thin coats, and you got to do several coats, back and forth, back and forth. You cannot have any voids.
Well, what about the algae?
Well, listen, the algae is that pool is just. I don't know how to comment. I really haven't seen much. I was driving with your show. I came home. I turned the news on. I saw what you're talking about, and I thought, let me call Brian. I hear what he's saying. I hear what you're saying, but it is very, very difficult to paint underwater. And if anyone wants to do a paint job on their pool, I'm going to tell you, if you do it right, it's still a garbage.
Well, there needs to be, I'm very curious about this, okay? Because if your expert observations are true, the question is, if was the company incompetent, or are they trying to embarrass the president, or were they trying to rip off the government?
No, Brian, whoever did it was incompetent. They should have never painted it. That's the stupidest thing they could have done. They should have spent a little bit more money and Marsided the pool and done it right. Okay, they just did it wrong from the get-go. So whoever he put in charge was an idiot who let these guys do it.
Well, President Trump probably has paid for and overseen the construction and finishing of some of the most beautiful swimming pools on the planet. So, there's something more to this, especially with the algae.
No, Brian, don't play into it. It takes. I'll tell you, that pool that big. I bet you had so many voids in the finish. Okay, they didn't put it on properly. I'm telling you, they didn't put it on right. And once the water got under it. Once you add water, you got hydrodynamics.
Yes.
That causes more pressure, and once it gets under it, Brian, forget it. It's going to
go
under.
The main thing about the reflecting pool, what you say about the paint, it sounds likely.
They went on too thick. It was too hot.
Yeah.
They should have been painted at night.
But part of it, or put a big tint over it as they were painting. Like I've seen them doing work on my neighbors' pools, and they always they put a tarp over it. They work under a tarp. I've seen that.
Brian, you have to let concrete cure a certain amount of time before you put any kind of.
But the main thing about the reflecting, the main thing about the reflecting pool though, is the liberals enjoying it. The idea that something that's an American monument, this reflecting pool, is going south right now, and its look so quickly, they're enjoying it. It really says so much about the left.
I understand that, Brian, and it's sad. It's sad that someone would get enjoyment, and you know what? A liberal probably did the job. Okay.
That's right.
Problem.
That's right.
We don't know the
well,
facts.
here's the thing. If what you're saying is true about the company, government, there needs to be a hard look at the people that were behind it.
Brian, they should have a warranty, Brian. They should have a warranty, and they're responsible
Absolutely.
for doing it.
Yeah.
Well, but we don't know the facts on this. We have to wait. Whoever did it is probably going to go out of business because that's a big project.
Yeah.
And but let's.
It's hard for me to believe that somebody in that business would do that on purpose, because it would destroy their reputation. It would destroy their reputation.
I hope other painting contractors call you and discuss this with you because, like I said, when you've got hydrodynamics, you've got pinholes in the finish. It's not a matter if; it's a matter of when it's going to fail.
Yeah.
Okay. And anyone out there wants to paint their pool, they chalk. So, and eventually, when you go touch the side of the wall, because I bought a house that had a painted pool years ago, and it was beautiful. Man, as soon as you got in, touched the wall, Brian, it started getting cloudy, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I had to go and chip it all out and remake
I've
it.
never, in my whole life living in Florida, I've never seen happen to any pool what I've seen happen with the reflecting pool. Now, I understand it's not a swimming
because
pool,
you're not,
but
because either there are two types of pool: fiberglass and typically a marsited pool. You never typically paint a pool. What it is when you paint a pool is because the pool needs a marcite finish and you're too cheap to do the marcite. So you drain it and you do it yourself. I mean, you know.
But you have to be, but you do have to be open to the idea that some government worker is sabotaging this.
I hear you, Brian. But I'm trying to help you out here.
No, you're giving very good information, and it's appreciated.
It's very easy for that finish to fail.
This quick?
All right, they covered it.
This quick?
I tried to do what I would have done.
This wait, hold on a second. This quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, Brian. All they're doing is they're making a liquid. How do I say, like taking a big bag and just sticking it, and they're filling it with water. Okay, it works fine, but as soon as you get a little hole in that bag, it's going to go.
Well, it's like if you those of you that do art painting at home, like arts and crafts, if you paint with oils, it takes forever to dry, right? So you're telling me when you do a surface of a pool, it has to bond to the concrete. You have to have it out of the sun and take X amount of time. And none of that was done.
The most important thing about anybody out there painting a driveway, sidewalks, when you pour that concrete, you've got to wait. A lot of, I don't know how it is. I can't remember how long you got to wait, but you just don't pour concrete and then put a finish on it because you got to have the material has to penetrate the concrete.
Correct.
It has to penetrate.
Okay. Well, listen, I got to run. I got to run for the break at the bottom, but I appreciate the call, and you gave us a lot of good information.
Brian, I got two more things I want to talk about.
Real quick. No, tell me now.
Real quick, Brian. I got my notes here real quick. Okay, I really want to talk about the war on Iran. The new bunker cover-up. Okay, the new bunker cover-up. You said that the ballroom was a cover for the
Correct.
Bunker. Okay,
that's a fact.
The Iran war. Okay, this whole thing over what Trump's doing. Listen, war. We could have too many missiles and say, hey, we need to go to war so we can get rid of this arsenal because we have all this brand new stuff. We don't need all this. So let's get rid of it. Okay, so the whole thing with Iran, are you a blockchain crypto kind of guy? You like cryptocurrencies?
Not really. I like gold and silver.
Okay, so understand stuff that we are going into
and annuities.
Everything's a new world financial order. Okay?
Yeah.
Everything's going to be on what we call the blockchain. Okay.
Correct.
What's going on with Iran right now is Iran and Iraq, they're trillions of dollars between Iran and Iraq go back and forth. And we need, they're not part of the blockchain. We need every country in this world to be on this blockchain the way the
so you think President Trump did this to get them on the blockchain for crypto? Listen, I'm really late for the break. Call me another day and bring up the other things. I got to run.
Brian, real quick. We can turn your money on and off with the blockchain. That's what a lot of people don't like about it.
No, I gotta run. I appreciate the information on the paint though, because you did add a lot with that. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. Oh man! All right, now listen. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll go back to the phones after the break. He did give us some good information, I will say, on the paint, and I will take him at that. That sounds very, very reasonable. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of changing diapers and wondering when potty training will finally click? From author Kimberly Rich comes a practical, no-nonsense guide designed for busy parents just like you who don't have time to read hundreds of pages of parenting advice. Ditching the Diapers, a 7-day boot camp or potty training book available on Amazon. Written by a mom, Ditching the
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Barry, we're just a couple days away from your Living Trust seminar.
Yeah, our next one is coming up next Tuesday afternoon, 5:30 p.m.
Yep.
in our Boca Raton office. So we scheduled that one to make it convenient for those of you who may be working or have other things that you need to do during the day when we normally have them. Earlier, we usually do them at either 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. So this one's for those of you who are busy during those hours, and this is something that's been on your mind. We've been getting a lot of requests for us to do more of these at this time. So if this is important to you, which for just about everybody it should be, you should call and get scheduled, and definitely make sure you call us ahead of time to make sure you get a seat.
Yeah, absolutely. And and these workshops, these seminars are very informational. You know, a lot of times, 'cause I've been to many of your Living Trust and Medicaid seminars. A lot of times I see adult children come, sometimes with their parents, sometimes without, because they want to get mom and dad on set up with a revocable living trust.
Well, sure. I mean, especially with the elder law and the Medicaid eligibility planning, often it's the adult children that are involved, whether they come to us straight without going to the seminar, straight through the scheduling consultation, or sometimes they'll come to the seminar because we do cover, Medicaid planning during the Living Trust seminar as well, because they kind of go hand in hand, and you got to, really good estate plan is going to make sure that those issues relating to long-term care are covered, because if you run out of money during your lifetime because you or your spouse became ill and needed care and had to spend it down, then who cares how great the rest of your estate plan is, because it's all gone.
That's right.
So that's why they go hand in hand. And as you said, we get a lot of time. Often we'll get the adult children or perhaps the healthy spouse.
Yes.
They have a spouse at home that's not doing well, that might have some level of dementia, or might have other physical issues, and they're coming in to see what they can do to help cover costs of long-term care.
Now, this Tuesday workshop, it's a Living Trust seminar. It's Tuesday next week. It's at the main office of the Siegel Law Group in Boca. So I'm going to give you the number, and they'll give you all the information. It's at 5:30 in the afternoon. And the Living Trust seminars that are at the office, it's a smaller venue, so you get you get an opportunity to speak with Attorney Barry Siegel, and as well as the people on his team. Give them a call; they'll give you all the information. 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com, and Siegel is spelled S-I-E-G-E-L, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, have a great Father's Day, and we'll talk next week.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right,
Thanks.
take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Renee from Harlem.
Happy Juneteenth, Renee.
Oh, I'm glad you know.
I know.
I want to give a shout out to Michelle Obama, who I know your audience really loves to hate her, and that's the reason we have Trump, because you're the reaction to Obama. You're the backlash. But that's okay, because you really point out the fact that we are much better than you. And you exemplify the point every time you open your mouth.
Oh, so who's better than who? We are better than you. What are the two groups you're talking about?
The people you brought here as slaves are better than you and stronger than you.
So I get it. I learned. So you're a black supremacist. Do you believe black people are superior than non-black people? You're a black supremacist?
I wouldn't use that word, but I would use the word that is not used enough, and that is black power. Black pride and black power is going to come back stronger than ever.
I got a question for you on this Juneteenth. If the United States is all these terrible things that the Obamas said it was yesterday, and you say it is, why is the United States the only major nation to twice elect a black man to be its leader? No other nation on earth has done that but us, and we did it twice. 2008 and 2012.
You're the most peaceful country in the world. You have locked up more black people than China.
I didn't ask you about the incarceration rate. I said, if the United States is this racist country, why are we the only major nation to elect and re-elect a black man to lead it? No other country has done that.
That's the proof. That's the proof right there.
What you said makes no sense.
Well, to you it makes no sense.
If this was a racist country, why did we elect and re-elect a black leader? No other major nation has done that. Just us.
You had the most hateful campaign. You're still talking about it. You still hate it.
No, it's because they had their event yesterday. All right, get off the phone. I mean, come on. What am I, He didn't think about that. But there has not been another major nation. No other first world nation has had a black man lead it but this one, and he was elected and re-elected. Against I didn't vote for him. I wasn't supporting him, but it still happened. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Sayre.
Sayre? What kind of name is that? Sayre?
Yeah,
is that short for something?
Yeah, short for Saoirse.
Saoirse? What kind of name is Saoirse? What are you, Russian? Ukrainian? What kind of name is that?
Irish.
Irish. Saoirse's Irish. Okay. What's up, Sar, the Irishman?
I was calling in to ask about, so I heard your live. I don't know how far into your live I was, but I heard about you talking to a guy that said you had said that, if I'm getting it right, how is America that racist if we elected a black president twice?
Well, the Renee from Harlem, he's an admitted black supremacist. He says black people are superior than non-black people. That makes him a black supremacist. And he was talking about how racist America is. And I said, if we're this racist country, why did we elect and re-elect a black man? We're the only major nation to do that as our leader. A black man has not led another major nation, but this one, he was elected and re-elected. Yes. How is it possible if we're racist as a nation?
Well, okay. Well, I didn't hear the whole conversation.
Well, now you did. Now you did. Now you did.
I thought he said he wasn't a black supremacist, but I didn't.
No, he said I wouldn't use that word, black, but he didn't say no. Of course he wouldn't use that word. He said black people are superior than non-black people. That's what he said. That makes him a black supremacist. Correct? He said black people are superior than non-black people.
I didn't hear him say that, but I mean, I didn't hear the whole conversation, so I don't know.
Okay, so you called in about something you didn't hear. Okay.
Well, I wanted to hear. I wanted to say. So, the example of Obama being elected twice as a reason against why America would be like a racist nation.
Correct.
That's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of like survivorship bias, is like just because we
Survivorship bias? Well, I don't understand what that means. Did you go to college?
I did.
I can, yeah, so did I, but I don't talk like that. What did you call it? Survivorship what? What was the term?
Survivorship bias.
Survivorship bias. What is that?
It just kind of means like...
Oh my good, millennial. Are you a millennial?
No.
Gen Z?
Does that matter?
Gen Z?
Does that matter?
Yeah, because you're thinking weird. Here, listen, explain this to me. The caller said that America's a racist nation. If this is a racist nation, how did a racist nation that doesn't like black people twice elect a black man to be its president?
Well, racism, my answer to that is that racism is not just found in who we elect.
Oh my
Racism,
goodness. What did you major in? What did you major in college?
Fine art and engineering.
Fine art? What kind of engineer are you? What do you engineer? Liberal crap?
Liberal crap?
Yeah, I mean the things you're saying are so bizarre. Listen, racist don't like black people, correct? If they're white racist, they don't like black people. So what you and Renee from Harlem, it's nice that you're one of those white liberal saviors out there, right? So Renee from Harlem is
I'm not a liberal.
I know. Okay, whatever. Okay, Renee from Harlem's a black man in Harlem, New York. You're a white man somewhere. I forgot where you said you're calling from. Okay? And you have that white...
I'm a woman, but yeah.
You're a woman?
I hear you.
You were born a woman?
I am.
Were you born a woman?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was born a baby, but yeah.
When you were born, did they tell your parents that mom gave birth to a girl?
Are we going to talk about trans?
Okay, so you're transgender. Okay, so that's okay. It's okay, but you're a trans man, trans woman. You're a trans
woman. Yeah.
You're a trans woman. Okay, so okay. It's okay. I just I'm a biological man. Okay, just in case you're wondering, what are your preferred pronouns?
Sure.
Yeah, my goodness, this is a weird world we're in, guys. Gen Z, worse than millennials. Okay. White racist hate black people.
Worse?
White racist hate black people, correct? White racist hate black people.
Yeah. Typically, yeah.
Okay. So why would white racist that make up this nation, according to Renee from Harlem, elect and re-elect a black president?
Well,
doesn't make sense, does it?
I would say it's kind of a multifaceted answer.
No, my God. Are you post or pre-surgical? Are you post? No, I don't have time. I'm late for a break. Are you post or pre-surgical?
What does that matter?
I'm just curious. Can you pee standing up still?
I don't want to talk about my genitals with somebody.
Okay. All right. Just curious. All right. Hey, listen, I got to run.
Yeah, you ran all right.
It's time for a commercial break.
Okay, well, the second I started to answer, it's time for a commercial break.
No, I'm late for the break. I'm like 2 minutes late from the break.
You cannot argue, bro. Good Lord.
I have to Oh, he hung up. She hung up. I always wanted a Trans Am. Didn't you? Okay, it's Friday. In fact, the weekend begins in 1 hour and 12 minutes, which is 9 a.m. Does the weekend begin for you guys at 9 a.m.? It does for me, and doesn't it for everybody? You don't want to start the weekend in pain. If you have aches, pains, if you're suffering, go see Dr. Philip Appleton today. You know, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. And usually, if you see me at Dr. Appleton's, if I've hurt myself or something, it's usually on Saturdays, and I just walk in and show up. And you all can do that. The consultation's free, and his laser away pain treatment works. It works. I met another listener yesterday. I was out and about meeting with somebody and bumped into a listener, and they also had hip pain, and they went to Dr. Appleton, and they had their hand on their hip. It was a man, and they don't have pain anymore. It's absolutely amazing. His robotic laser away pain treatment not only rids you of pain, it repairs the damage that is causing you the pain. That's why the pains don't return. He does this without any shots, without any drugs, without any surgery, and no downtime. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Oh, man, if you're on hold, guys, stand by. Oh, my goodness. Great calls today. You know, Friday on those of you that are new, welcome. I'm here every morning, and if I'm in the studio, I'm always taking live calls. And Friday is open phones. We call it Open Mag and Mike Friday. On Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. Okay, you don't even have to comment on the things we bring up. And that's on Friday. The other days, you have to call in about what we're talking about. But on Friday, the show prep is up to you. And we've had some really super awesome calls today, no doubt about it. In fact, I'm so late for the break because I went so long with that guy or woman that, sorry, you know, I can only hear. I can't see the person I'm talking to on the phone. That this next segment's going to be a super short segment, so I apologize in advance for that. But we'll be back in just a couple of minutes from the break, all right? So if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, and it's pinned in the live chat.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed before your day even begins? Like your to-do list is running your life. Your motivation has disappeared, and no matter how hard you try, you're stuck. From author Victoria Magic, a refreshing, down-to-earth book that will help you stop waiting for motivation and start building it one small step at a time. From overwhelmed to empowered, a practical guide to self-motivation in everyday life. Available on Amazon. With this must-read book, you'll learn simple, proven techniques to beat procrastination, quiet negative self-talk, reduce stress, boost productivity, and create lasting momentum. There's no unrealistic routines, no complicated systems, just practical, actionable tools that fit into real life, even on your busiest days. Whether you're a working parent, caregiver, student, or busy professional, author Victoria Magic shows you how to turn that feeling of being overwhelmed into action, build confidence, and make meaningful progress without guilt, pressure, or burnout. Order your copy right now on Amazon in Kindle and paperback and start making progress one small, powerful step at a time. From overwhelmed to empowered, a practical guide to self-motivation in everyday life from author Victoria Magic on Amazon. What if history's greatest mysteries weren't political, but medical? The Fevered Past is a podcast that investigates the diseases, epidemics, and unexplained deaths that changed the course of civilization. Each episode of The Fevered Past explores one historical medical mystery. What earthquake of Athens. You'll hear what ancient witnesses recorded, what modern science has uncovered, and where the truth remains frustratingly unreached. Every investigation on the fevered past begins by plunging directly into the world of the people who lived through these events, transforming distant history into a vivid human story. Add the fevered past to your podcast playlist on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and wherever else you get podcasts. Share the link on all your socials so your friends can listen in too. The Fevered Past on all podcast platforms.
All right, we'll be back in about 30 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. I got a clip I'm going to play on the radio. And when we get back, and then I'm going to go to the phones, all right? 20 seconds. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. We're back. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, yesterday, I made the statement that Iran had surrendered to the United States. And people were pretty upset in this audience about that, liberal and conservative alike. People were mad at me, yelling at me, calling me names, laughing at me. I want to play this. This is the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, on an interview yesterday with Axios.
Who else could have done a blockade like that? I did a naval blockade where not one ship was able to get through. Some tried. They didn't last very long.
And it certainly brought Iran to the table more than before. However, beginning a conflict, you had talked about you only wanted unconditional surrender. And, well, the MOU doesn't look like unconditional surrender.
Well, it really probably is unconditional surrender.
President Trump, he just said it. It's unconditional surrender. I was right. Who's laughing now? You're on. Oh, no, not you. Oh boy, I tell you, you got to don't go away from the dump button today, Mike. That one was a quick one. It was a quick one. I went long with the last caller, so this is going to be a very short break, and I apologize to you guys about that in advance. So this is a short segment. When we get back. After the top of the hour, we'll be back on schedule for the rest of the show, and everything will be normal. But before we go back to the phones, I tell you, today has been some day on the phones. And if you notice, when people are new to the program, they're a little taken aback. You know why? Because most conservatives, most MAGA people, they hold back too much, and I think we've had some incredible calls today, some of the best calls of the week. I really enjoyed the call from the pool painting expert. I think he gave us a lot of valuable information, but I'm still going to stick to that there was some type of sabotage at the pool. Now, this was Fox yesterday. They did on the Will Cain show, they did a focus group on the Save America Act. Listen. See, this is a liberal in the focus group who's against requiring state-issued photo ID to vote. Yeah, I mean, the white liberal savior telling this black woman that she doesn't have ID. The left, they don't see the racism inside of them, do they? I want to talk about Life Imaging FLA. This weekend is Father's Day. Guys, give your family the gift of you for next Father's Day and many Father's Days in the future. Go over to Life Imaging FLA and get that heart scan. You know, and those of you out there that aren't the dad, take that man in your life, whether he's your husband, your dad, or your granddad, or your husband, or your nephew, whoever he is, somebody in your family who's, you know, for Father's Day, call Life Imaging FLA. I'm going to give you the number in just a bit, and schedule that scan. Schedule that scan. You know, a good friend of mine just had multiple bypass surgery. They got the scan, and they found out they had major blockage in all their arteries. They had no idea. They go to the gym all the time and had no idea. It's amazing to me how many people either have heart attacks, sometimes deadly, or are on the verge of one, and they have no symptoms. Well, that's what Life Imaging FLA is all about. They're about preventative medicine. They have locations in Palm Beach, Broward, Dade, and Orlando. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now, with a few minimum requirements, valued at $699. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250 and say free heart scan. You will be connected in seconds. All right, we don't have enough time to go back to the phones until after the top of the hour. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'll go to the phones after the top of the hour break. It is Friday, which means open phones. That we call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. You don't even have to comment on the things I bring up, although I've got some things I haven't touched on yet that we are going to get into between calls in the 8 o'clock hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. We'll take our break for the top and be right back. Okay. Okay, guys, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free. It's pinned in the live chat, all right? Okay, we got less than 2 minutes and we'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. I will take the calls after the break. If you guys could please like the video, I'd appreciate it, guys. That really helps grow the channel. When you like the video, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. So please like the video. And if you get that hype option, if you do that too, that'd be spectacular. Those of you that are new to the program, welcome. And please subscribe, all right? You'll love this program. I'm here every day of the week in the mornings, most afternoons, and anytime I'm in the studio, I'm taking live calls like I'm doing now. All the calls are 100% screenless and unvetted. When nobody answers the phone, when you call in, I just put you on hold. And then I'll get to you eventually. And then when you hear me say, what's your name, where are you calling from, it's the first time we know who's on the line. And we do that by design, not screening the calls. It makes it much more interesting. I don't know what's coming, and it makes it much more unpredictable as to what happens. I have no idea who's on the line or what you're going to say. Oh, Corn Pop's in the chat. Welcome, Corn Pop. Tell Joe we said hello. Did you see when they left Biden on 30 seconds, we'll be back. They left Biden on the stage yesterday. Oh my goodness, by himself. He was lost. He didn't know where to go. All right, about 10 seconds, we'll be back. Well, Corn Pop, you can always call. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. We're going to go to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I was born a man, and I'm still a man. At least I know with my prostrate at night, I know I'm a man.
It's a whole nother world out there, isn't it?
Oh my God, Brian, first of all, I'm gonna say a few things here. This is a racist country. And you could be in total denial about it, but I'm not. I've seen it with my own eyes. As a young boy growing up, my father, my mother, my uncles. I remember my uncle lived in Long Island. Well, it was actually part of New York called Cambria Heights, which is now an all-black city.
All right, Richie, I know it's open phones. Can you get to the point instead of "This is your life"?
Yeah. Well, the point is that racism probably ended back in the '60s, but then it was taken over by the black movement. Like, in other words, your Jesse Jacksons and your Sharptons, and they made a living on it, and to the point where it's like an industry, like Renee from Harlem. You wake up every morning, you don't think about race. I don't think about race. I don't think about black, white.
I do because I go to the phones and people are calling me a racist. Black liberals are calling me a racist. It's not a typical. I don't have a regular job, but that usually doesn't happen when people go to work unless they're a cop, right?
The point is this: there is racism. They never should have had a Black History Month in this country. They should never have a Gay Pride Month in this country. It should be American history, and it should be taught completely instead of separating people, which is what they did. And by the way, these white liberals have been taught, you brought up the professors and everything in the schools and in the high schools, they've been taught, not is the stolen land, they've been taught that the white man has been terrible.
Well, instead of just random free association, yesterday you were really pissed off at me, and the president backed me up. The president said, he said it was an unconditional surrender.
A guy called up. Listen to me. A guy called up. What he says doesn't mean nothing to me. A guy called up and said, I should not be Israeli thinking of Israel. I should be thinking of the United States. I'm going to bring this up to you, and I want you to explain this to me, okay? In Israel, in northern Israel, the people have not since October 7th, they have not been able to stay in the north. The day after the proxy of the Iranian government, which is their army, started throwing.
Okay, Richie, I'm of the opinion.
Hold on a minute.
Hurry up! I got a full board. I got a lot to do, and I got a break coming up. And you're going through the history of the world here. Yeah, but you're a man of a few thousand words here today. Listen. How long have people been trying to kill Jews?
You have forever.
Forever. Okay. So you mean to tell me? Okay. So why? Hold on. Okay. So yeah, people have been trying to kill Jews forever. Netanyahu can't wait a few days to go back at Lebanon until Trump gets the deal all finished with Iran. He's trying to blow the deal.
The deal is that the Jews should not be in Lebanon at all. They should pull out of that territory.
Netanyahu is trying to blow the deal.
The deal was, listen, Brian, the deal was put by, the Israelis had no seat at the table.
All right,
And now
Richie,
they're
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on, Richie.
You're
You're gonna be really pissed, but I know. You see, he's gonna be pissed, but that's okay. I want him to be pissed. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mr. Brian, hey, Chris, with Pompano Beach.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks for the entertainment. Well, before I get started, I just want to mention, weekend's here. Happy Father's Day. Hope you have enjoy it. So
Yes.
Not any other weekend this weekend. We get
It's
a little
exciting.
recognition this
Last
weekend.
Father's Day, my daughter came and picked me up and took me out to lunch at a Korean buffet. I love those Korean. She introduced them to me in L.A. where they're every other restaurant's one of those Korean buffet places. It's like so hopefully maybe we'll do that this. And she paid. It was the first time my daughter paid for a meal that I ate. It was kind of awkward. It was awkward. It was awkward, but it was awkward.
And there's a nice one. It's like Korean and Japanese right in Pompano Beach off of Federal Highway in the Walmart Plaza there, the Walmart Market.
Yeah.
It's called Miyatu.
Mm-hmm.
Miyatu. Very good. That whole laughable thing about the ID. I have so much fun with that every now and then. And most people, 100% of the time, they have a great sense of humor when I pretend I don't have ID.
Well, I'm black. I don't have ID. Could you imagine when I was in high school, there was a place that sold beer and wine coolers and everything that you didn't need anything, but we could have just gotten our black friends to go to the store and say, well, I can't prove I'm 21. I'm black. I don't have ID. Give me the beer. Give me the wine coolers. That's all we should have done. I wish we would have done that. But it would have made it a lot. We could have gotten drunk a lot easier in high school.
And the saddest thing really is that's far from the most laughable thing they come up with. Like Whoopi Goldberg.
How racist of you at this liquor store to ask me for ID? I'm black. You racist liquor store guy. Give me the beer. Oh my goodness.
I have so much fun with it.
Oh man.
So much fun with it.
That sounds like great. That sounds like a pretty. I don't want to give any ideas to the underage in the audience, but I know that's what we would have done. Every clique would have one black friend, like in the movies, to go in and buy us our wine coolers. Because remember wine coolers.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that. Even that one Zima, the beer.
Oh my goodness! Coors came out with Zima for a limited run a few years ago, and I was a big Zima drinker back in the 90s, and what Zima tastes like? Orange or the green apple Jolly Ranchers. It's incredible. I love Zima.
They were flavorful. Yeah, they were different. It was a nice alternative. Even bottles and James, I don't really see them around anymore.
No.
But, yeah.
No.
I'm surprised they don't have it on the market anymore.
No, you can't find wine coolers. And Zima, I understand they still sell it in Mexico, but I miss Zima. Zima was awesome.
Yeah, and what some of them do now, they turn wine into wine cooler. Like they'll just add Sprite.
That's not a wine cooler. That's not a wine cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, Chris, I got to run. But I appreciate the call. All right, take care. Take care, Chris. If you're on hold, stand by. Before we break, and Steve Kane's going to join us after the break. Before we break, I want to play this. This is the Vice President took over the White House press briefing yesterday, and he gave a warning to Israel. Listen. Wow. Oh, I didn't unmute it. Okay, let me play it again. Let me play it again. I'm sorry, guys. I just got the text from Mike, the board op. I hit the wrong button. There's a button that says on, and sometimes that works best when you're playing sound bites. I'm all excited. Okay, this is the vice president yesterday. I don't know why he did the press briefing, because Caroline Levitt's back from maternity leave, but he did, and he gave a warning to Israel. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Wow, I mean that was pretty hardcore. Never heard a president or vice president who's a Republican talk to Israel that way. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our first break at the 8 o'clock hour. Steve Kane will be joining us, and more of your calls after this. All right, hang in there. 2 minutes. Okay, Stephen, put you on hold for a minute while I answer the phones. Hold on. Okay. All right, you there?
Yes.
Okay, we got about a minute. We'll be back. Oh my gosh, some really good calls today.
Who's the guy at the bottom of the half hour?
I don't.
Who wouldn't hang up?
Oh, the guy, the painter.
Yeah, what was the story with that?
He was talking to me. He was talking to me about the paint peeling in the reflecting pool in Washington.
But you wisely were trying to end the call, and you just wouldn't.
No, that's okay. He was excited. He was excited. He's a new listener. He was just excited his first call. All right, 20 seconds. All right. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
Wild and crazy day.
Well, it's Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind, and we've had some really good calls today from some very good, some very strange. But I don't know. It's
Strange, I'll give you.
The first call I had was from a 9-year-old child about Israel and Iran. They were really 9 years old, so that was good. And then, kind of went downhill after that. But it is Juneteenth and all, so it is a holiday. Oh boy, oh boy. There's no doubt, and I was watching Fox early this morning before I went on the air, and they rerun some of the nighttime shows like Laura and all that I miss. And one of the things you brought up yesterday on the program has become a talking point on Fox News. And it's really, it really is sad for me when I hear conservatives I'm not accusing you of having talking points, Steve, but something you said yesterday has become a talking point. And
what was that?
Well, as conservatives, we've always prided ourselves on not having talking points. That's a thing of the left. Right?
Well, what was it? What's the talking point? Let's talk about it.
That Iran is going to have money. I heard this from every expert on Fox.
That's huge. You don't think that's an issue?
I don't want to redo what we did yesterday, but this nonsense that Iranians are not allowed to have money, that they have to go by a barter system in the future, is absurd. I don't even understand that.
I never heard anybody say that.
That's what you said yesterday.
We are breathing life in it, and you realize that.
Well, we'll see. That is to be seen, but it's just bizarre. And I played the clip before you got on, but I was hold on, Steve, while I answer all these phones that have been ringing off the hook. J.D. Vance, who it looks like President Trump is really getting him out there to be running for president, right? He has him taking the lead in so many of these things. And he did the White House press conference yesterday. I played the clip while I was getting you on the line, so you may not have heard me play it, but maybe you saw it in the news, that he really threw out J.D. Vance really threw down a big warning to Israel, telling them that we pay for everything you've got, and you've got one friend in the world. His name's Donald Trump. Every other country and leader's against you.
How do you feel about, now that we've identified a talking point, how do you feel about that?
I think Israel's trying to sabotage the Iranian peace, and
so you think Israel is being treated fairly?
No, I think Israel is treating us unfairly and is trying to blow the Iranian peace deal. And I think that Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and the Netanyahu government want all Iranians either dead or us to have a mass invasion and seize the country and force regime change upon them.
As you read the issue of the participation by Iran in this new pact, how do you read it? I mean, if Israel is attacked, does the change pact allow Israel to respond and fight back militarily?
Part of
yes or a no on that.
No. Part of the peace deal that we saw with the memorandum of understanding includes them backing off on Israel. And what's happened in Israel, there were some rogue IRGC forces in Lebanon. The Lebanese government 2 or 3 days ago had their security forces searching and tracking down the Iranians in Lebanon and trying to there's a rogue unit of IRGC fighters in Lebanon.
Let me ask the questions because then.
Hold on. Let me just hold on 1 second, Steve. The phones are just ringing off the hook. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just answering the lines.
Then you can address what I'm confused about. In the new pact, the new agreement that Israel seems to object to, how is Israel supposed to deal with an attack if Iran
attacks Israel, how is Israel?
Well, Iran is
respond militarily?
Iran has stopped attacking Israel. If they attack
But let's just say for the future.
in the
new
future,
pact,
yeah,
the one we're entering into.
yeah,
So Israel's allowed to
correct.
fight
Yes,
back.
yes. If they're attacked, yeah, that would be a violation of the deal, of the Iran deal. Yes,
And Israel is allowed to fire back.
yes, but that's not what's happening in Lebanon. That's not what is happening in Lebanon, though. There is a rogue group of terrorist or IRGC soldiers in Lebanon that are still causing trouble for Israel. The supreme leader yesterday released a statement supporting the agreement with the president, with the United States. And Netanyahu's government want to blow the deal. So they keep firing back into Lebanon. For the time being, they got to suck it up.
If they're being attacked, isn't the firing back self-defense?
No, not right now. It's not. Not right now. It's
how
not.
is firing back not self-defense?
Because what has happened is they've already the vice president canceled his trip to Switzerland for the official in-person signing because Netanyahu won't stop firing into Lebanon, and he knows that that'll stop everything. He can wait. He can put it off for a few days and get the deal done. He's blowing it. He doesn't have to respond instantaneously. Netanyahu. He's Netanyahu and Israel and some of the Jewish voices in our movement, Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, don't want this deal to go through. They want total.
I'm not comfortable. First of all, I don't know who I always speak for, but probably only myself. But I bristle when you equate Mark Levin with Shapiro.
They're on the same. They're on the same team when it comes to this, and they were.
Well, but maybe we should think about being on the same team if it involves self-defense.
Well, the self-defense is no. This isn't self-defense. This is Netanyahu trying to stop the war from ending.
If something occurs, if there's an attack against Israel,
Steve, they can put it off for a few days. They don't have to. They could cool it off and not respond until after everything is settled. But speaking of cooling off, I want to talk about Sloman Central Air Conditioning. Let me tell you something. If there's one thing I know about, it's buying air conditioning units. And Sloman Central Air Conditioning has a deal on a new AC unit for your home that is the best deal I have ever seen. And my wife and I, sadly, we had to buy a new AC a year and a half ago. And I wish we could have waited because I would have been the first day they gave me this copy, I would have called Sloman's Central Air Conditioning and got this unit because it is the most incredible deal I have. This is the most incredible deal I've ever seen on an air conditioner. Listen to this. Sloman Central Air Conditioning is offering a high-efficiency, 5-ton, 18-SEER AC system that uses R454B refrigerant for just $59.99. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for mine because I would look like an idiot, okay? It was a lot more than this. This is an incredible deal. And get this, 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, your new system comes with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper service plan, which includes annual system maintenance, filter replacement, and refrigerant. So there's no annual maintenance cost. And of course, that's what you got to do. You got to maintain your system once you have it in. And listen to this. You'll also receive the Sloman Shield home security system installed with 5 years of professional central station monitoring included with your AC package. Here's the number, 561-217-COOL. That's COOL. 561-217-COOL. 561-217-COOL. COOL. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian. We'll take our break for the bottom and be right back. Israel just blew everything. J.D. Vance's trip's been canceled to Switzerland to sign it because of Netanyahu. He's out of control, Netanyahu.
Well, what did Netanyahu do?
Fired into Lebanon.
In response to what?
I don't care what it's in response to.
Well, it is, but that's because you don't care about Israel's self-defense.
Okay. Well, they're blowing up the whole world. What he's doing is self-destructive. All right, hold on. We'll be back. We're still in break. We got 2 minutes and we'll be back.
So you're telling me the deal's off now?
Well, I don't know if the deal's off, but the meeting that JD was going to have in Switzerland to sign the final deal's been delayed. JD had canceled his trip. Netanyahu blew the whole thing up, which is what he wanted. Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and all the rest. COOL. Isn't that what I said? COOL. Did I spell cool wrong, guys? I said COOL. You never know. There's liberally impaired people in the audience. You got to spell it out for them. COOL. All right.
Well, saying that Israel is entitled to defend themselves isn't a way out concept to me.
All right. Well, let's go to the phone. We got a lot of callers on hold, so we'll take the calls when we get back, I guess. We got just over a minute. We'll be back. 1 minute. All right. All right. All right, hold on. Put you on hold for a minute, Steve. I'm answering all the calls.
Brian?
Yeah, we got 20 seconds. Stand by. Ten seconds. All right, we're back. Steve Kane's here. I'm Brian, and we got a full board of calls. Steve, you want to take some calls?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Pete, Oakland Park.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
Okay. Well, I'm just, this thing with Israel and Iran, we're peacekeepers, and we're trying to keep the peace and everything, but, they hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
They totally hate each other. And anyway, so, President Trump, he's in there doing what he needs to do to bring peace to that region over there. And I'm sorry if my speech is kind of off right now, but
you're doing fine. You're doing fine.
I had all my teeth pulled Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness.
So, but last week we were on the Celebrity Beyond, me and my wife, and we took a week-long cruise and went to San Juan. We went to Coco Cay, and
okay.
We went down to St. Martin.
We only talk about cruises that we're on, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's your ship.
It is a good ship, though. It is a beautiful ship, the Beyond, yes.
Yeah, it is. We had the room like you had with the balcony. My wife loved it where you let the window down.
Oh, the infinite veranda. I love the infinite veranda.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm tickled to death with this president. It's the first time in many years that I've been able to cast my vote for somebody that actually got off their butt and did what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the next 2.5 years it's going to be phenomenal.
Or 6.5 if President Trump runs for the third term. We could have 6.5 years of this greatness.
Come on, you're going to give people a stroke.
Hey,
I'll already vote on that right now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad you had a good time on the Celebrity Beyond. You should join us next time. We're going to be on the Celebrity XL on our next MAGA cruise. All right, thanks for the call. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, ID and Broward. Hey, Uncle Steve. Morning.
How are you doing?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Brian, man, you've been taking me back. This is like the second time you talk about that Zemer in the last year. I remember I provided the Zemer just to impress the girls.
Let me tell you, Zima. There's something about if you're like Gen X, which my age group, Zima has an effect on the mind like cocaine and hookers has on Hunter Biden. It brings back you get the desire for it right away, and you got to have it, but you can't find it.
There's a liquor store around the corner from Wolfie.
They don't have Zima. They don't have Zima.
Can we cut to the chase here? Let me ask you a question, Ivy. On the issue with the new proposed deal that is being made here, what is your position about Israel's right to defend itself?
Oh my goodness!
Does the new agreement permit Israel to defend itself, or is it an aggressive allow aggression? What's the case?
I'm torn right now because I don't understand. See, Netanyahu's been doing this for so long. He understands the way these people think, and having Mossad in the country for so many years, he's thinking a little differently than what Trump is doing.
Steve and I have a disagreement here. Let me spell it out, okay? I believe that Netanyahu is launching rockets into Lebanon to try to stop the peace deal with the United States and Iran.
What do you base that on?
The fact that every time you launch a rocket into Lebanon, they call everything off the Iranians, and the vice president just canceled his trip to Switzerland to meet the Iranians to sign the final treaty. Netanyahu and Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro want Iran destroyed, and they're going to do whatever they can do to stop the peace from happening. And I'm at the point where I think we may have to cut off Israel's money that we're giving them. I'm getting really pissed off. This is the second time he's pulled this crap this week.
Well, hold on, Brian. You don't mean that.
I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm not going to take it. I'm angry.
It's okay, but you don't want to react.
Steve, Netanyahu on Sunday, he fired, or was it Saturday or Sunday? He fired into Israel on Sunday. I mean, Israel fired into Lebanon.
You're angry at the terrorists.
No. Netanyahu fired into Lebanon on Sunday trying to blow the deal. He did it yesterday trying to blow the deal again, and JD canceled his trip to Switzerland. And this whole thing that Iranians can't have money started with Levin.
That when Netanyahu fired, my understanding is that it was responding to aggressive moves.
And wait a few days until everything's done.
There has to be.
In the meantime, let Netanyahu's people get slaughtered.
Steve, the Lebanese, Lebanon is part of the peace deal, okay? And the Lebanese government is involved in an operation tracking down the Iranian terrorists that are operating in Lebanon. They are operating the IRGCs in Lebanon doing this stuff, and they are working against the current Ayatollah, the kid that nobody's seen.
Those, in my opinion, is the Hamas that have infiltrated the IRC.
Correct.
Okay, and these are the I've talked about the guys in the mountains, in the hills. They're always going to be ready to strike. Yep. Those are the ones.
Hey, IB, I'm going to move on, IB, but I appreciate the call. Let me take one more call, Steve, because we got phones are ringing off the hook here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, it's Danielle calling from Michigan. Happy Father's Day to
Yes.
both you and Steve, and good morning.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you so very much. Kind words.
Oh, you're welcome, Steve. I love you. I just love when I can hear you on the show, but I love Brian too. I just wanted to make a quick comment. With all the noise and all the criticism, I'm talking about what's going on with Iran. And Brian, I'm a little bit older than you. With all of this commotion and with everything going on, I'm going to tell you what I think about. I sit for a moment and I think how thankful I am that the top head mullahs or whoever they are that were in charge for 40-some years, they're gone. I think about how thankful I am that their Army, Navy, they've been blown away. I sit and I think how thankful I am that their nuclear capability is down to dust. I think about all these things that I'm so thankful for, and if it wasn't for our great president, this would not have happened. So everyone can scream and fight and yell and criticize and say this isn't done right and this isn't done. But I'm going to tell you something. We're way ahead with President Trump in charge. And that's just something that I think about and reflect about when everybody else, I'm not talking about you and Brian, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm just saying everybody else wants to yell and scream, he's not doing this right, he's not doing that. And I'm so thankful.
Well, okay, I appreciate all the thankfulness there, but what do you agree with me or Steve? Is Netanyahu trying to stop the Iranian-U.S. peace deal? I say he is.
You know what, Brian? Perhaps he is trying to.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say something. I don't really think that President Trump is going to allow this to happen. I really, truly don't. I think there's so much behind the scenes that we have absolutely no clue as to what's going on. And he's not going to be able to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
But I will just tell you once again, yeah, I'm very thankful.
Okay.
And I just kind of put things
All right. Well, listen, I got to move on, Danielle, because time is short. But I appreciate all the thanking and all that stuff. Okay. All right. I'm going to take.
We love you too.
Yes, we love you too, and we're thankful for you and all our listeners. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Blind Man from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my God! Danielle, can you call back? Okay, go ahead. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this is rapid fire rhetorical questions.
We don't know.
What does that mean? You don't want to, but rapid fire, you mean you don't want to be interrupted? You don't want to be responded
No,
to?
rhetorical questions because I know you have limited time.
No.
Okay.
You have limited time, blind man, not us. You have limited time.
We have all the time in the world. Go ahead.
Obama was elected because he was of mixed race. People felt comfortable with him. That's one thing. I believe that while he was raised by his white grandparents. Okay. Why do you support a secular atheist nation if you're against atheism, Mr. Bryan?
I don't understand what you're talking about there. Be more specific.
Israel is a secular and somewhat atheist nation.
It's not an atheist nation. No, it's not true. It's the Jewish state.
I've had acquaintances, not friends, acquaintances who are both Muslim and Israeli, and only out of 7 acquaintances, only 2 were religious. One was Messianic, and another.
Well, there's a lot of Jews that are not religious. Okay, I get it, but Israel is the Jewish state. I bet I don't understand your question.
The embassy.
Rhetorical.
Trump has to move it to where? To Jerusalem.
No.
Tel Aviv.
Okay.
Or something?
Well, no. He moved the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. What is Jerusalem in relation to Israel? Do you know? What is Jerusalem?
That's where King David.
No. But what is it to as a country? The country of Israel, right? It's the what? It's the what of Israel, Jerusalem. Hello?
Blind man.
Are you now deaf? He's blind, and now he's turned into Helen Keller. He's lost the ability to speak as well, which might, so that's...
Then shall the eyes of the blind be opened.
I guess we'll call him Harold Keller.
And the ears of the deaf unstopped.
Yes, his call improved, though, when he lost the ability to speak. That was the best part of the call. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, oh my God! You know what's amazing to me?
Made the most sense.
There's so much anti-Semitism. Even a man who's blind and cannot see color, he dislikes Jews. Like anti-Semitism makes it to the blind world. Oh, I know what we got to talk about, Steve. We got to talk to our listeners out there that have neuropathy. And you know what? This is just something I came up again. Remember I was telling you the other day, Steve, I didn't realize how bad neuropathy was. You know, I knew, I thought neuropathy was, I knew it was, I thought it was more of a nuisance and uncomfortable than it could be actually deadly. And what I found out when I was over at Lighthouse Medical last week was that the dizziness and the falling down is really quite possibly a deadly symptom. You could actually, you could hit your head and be dead, right? I mean, that dizziness, I mean, it's really, I think about all the times that people in my family or people that I've heard about or even been out in public, like I've been at Publix and seen elderly people get dizzy and fall down. And I bet you in almost all those instances, they have neuropathy. And letting neuropathy go unchecked and untreated can actually be deadly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what people have in the falling, because the balance issue is major.
Yeah. I mean, all the other symptoms seem god awful, but falling and dying or breaking a bone, neuropathy is just not something to play with. And if you're in the early stages of it, you want to get it treated and get rid of it then too, before you get to the falling down stage. When you go to Lighthouse Medical in Pompano and have your neuropathy treated, Steve, you had your treatment 4 years ago this month. It's gone. It hasn't come back 4 years later. You really could be saving your life because you're not going to be falling down like you were before. Call Lighthouse Medical. Listen, when you call, please mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you could take advantage of the no-charge consultation, which they only offer to our listeners. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back. All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. I'm going to get William and be back. Okay, hold on. Go. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe what's going on. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. We will go to the phones in just a minute. All right. And I just want to let you guys know that William Youngerman is open today. Even though it's a bank holiday, William Youngerman is open, even though the Bank of America and all banks will be closed on this federal holiday. All right, Steve, you back with us?
Yes.
I am. Okay, I'm going to go right back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, Brian. It's Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
Guess what? I was married to a contractor. And you know what? When you look at a job, you have to look at the job.
We're talking about Israel now. I don't mean to be rude, but do you have anything to say about what's going on with Israel and the Mideast?
I didn't see that, but I just dropped
Okay.
in late. But, you know, they...
Okay, that's okay. No problem. Thank you for your call.
All right.
Let's try again.
Okay, we'll try, but it is open phone. It is open phone, Steve. So people are going to want to jump around. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Steve and Brian, it's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
JJ, what's up?
Well, I'm interested in this poll, Steve, from the beginning of the show. Proud to be an American, the 90% for Republican, 29%. I think it's a perfect example of the deception, propaganda, and the amnesia education that the Democrats have used. It's been one of the worst things that's really happened it's been the most divisionary. It's been horrible. And then to see Michelle and that damn the space, whatever that thing is, that library thing, it looks like something out of Star Wars from the on the.
I tell you what it looks like. It looks like a prison or a county jail.
It's horrible. I mean, it's just and their mentality, and they're not giving up. They're not giving up on stupid. I mean, they just I think.
Well, let me tell you, everybody that I opened the show talking about that Obama opening. It was disgraceful. And everybody there is a miserable. Even Tom Hanks. Did you see Tom Hanks with the MS Now guy?
No, I didn't.
Well, yes, I saw it. It's horrible, Steve.
Oh,
it's horrific.
Tom Hanks is a big liberal jerk, and he's of course up there with the Clinton. MS Now, which used to be MSNBC, they go up to Tom Hanks, and he says, "Oh, do I have anything to say to the 800 people watching MS Now? Oh, you can add another 0 if you have to." And he was laughing at his liberal network. I'm not, I mean, what you have with the Clintons, the Obamas, and the Hanks, just a bunch of, I would use the AH word if I was off the air. They're just a bunch of nasty people, unpleasant, nasty, miserable people. Tom Hanks became famous because he was the all-American nice guy, and he's a evil, nasty man.
Yeah, well, they say in the Bible, by their works you will know them, and I would say that you certainly get to know Obama by looking at that library. It's I was going to say as black as his soul, but pretty.
Well, it is.
It is Juneteenth,
It's
Steve.
hope and change. Hope and change, Steve. He stole hope, kept the change, and then he stole the future. He's destroyed. But people don't realize it because these people that get the amnesia education, they all agree with him because they're all in that same pool of.
You know what I really wonder? Okay, when people get things built, okay, personality goes into it. Jeff Bezos' rocket is shaped like a penis on purpose. It's I know more so than a regular. It's a penis rocket because Bezos, he's got some issues.
Well,
right?
It's true.
So why did Obama sign off on this prison-looking presidential library? It's very bizarre.
I think
the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader?
Yeah, I think he thinks he's Darth Vader. I mean, that's pretty much who he is. I mean, I don't know if he was ever on the good side and got turned to the dark side, but I mean, it's horrific what they've done. I mean, it's just, and it's so sad when I see them. It's just a reminder of the evil. I'm trying to forget. I mean, well, never forget really, but I'm just trying not to let it bother me. But it bothers me. I mean, Michelle Obama I mean, what did she say about the White House? What was that?
She called it the crucible. She said
crucible.
She said I was 8 years in the crucible.
I mean, they're just evil. But they don't think of themselves as evil, and the people that follow them, again.
Well, and look what Valerie Jarrett did. Valerie Jarrett apologized for being on stolen Indian land, and then Obama talked about how the hopes and the dreams and the promise of America has not been fulfilled. I mean, it was just sick.
Yeah, that the Obama Corporation will pay its bills. That's the hope of the future.
Oh, and by the way, they haven't paid the black. Yeah, they haven't. They've left. They haven't paid the black contractors that built the thing.
Yeah. Yep. That's them. They complain. Everything they do and complain about Trump is the stuff that they've done. Trump pays everybody. These guys. I saw that guy, and they say that the contractors are scared because they know what can happen. They know what can happen. They know how nasty these people are.
Yes, they'll destroy them.
Sad guys.
They'll destroy them. All right, appreciate the call. All right, you take care. You take care. You want to take one more? We're almost out of time.
Let's do it.
All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
We got cut off.
No, we were done talking.
So you hung up on me?
I don't remember the call, but I'm assuming.
Do you need
Yeah.
to do it again?
I just did. I have no recollection of talking to that person. Do you?
It was a very forgettable call.
Obviously. I don't have Alzheimer's, I don't think. But it was yet at least. Oh my gosh. They're losing their minds. I don't know what it is. I don't understand what it is with the left. They're just losing.
We all know what it is.
But let me tell you, at the beginning of the show, I went through some of the highlights of President Obama and Mrs. Obama, and Valerie Jarrett, and it was a disgrace. And in particular, when she was talking about how people questioned his birthright to be president, and she's blaming Trump and Republicans. It was Mrs. Clinton who first brought that up. Hillary Clinton, it was her campaign in 2008 during the primary that first brought up the birth certificate. I know that for a fact because we had the deputy chairperson of her campaign that introduced it to the world as a guest on the program. He was from Hillary Clinton's campaign in Pennsylvania. He was a deputy campaign chairman. And Michelle Obama is blaming us for the birth certificate. It was Hillary Clinton who was sitting behind her during the whole event that was responsible for the birth certificate. I mean, there were other things too, don't get me wrong. But it was really a statement on how the liberals feel about this country, Steve. They hate it. They hate America First crowd, and they wanted to make sure that you know it. And Tom Hanks has done to me what Robert De Niro has done. I can't watch their movies. They're both so nasty. I understand, a celebrity can have an interaction with someone and they get pissed off. But Tom Hanks, what we saw yesterday at the Obama presidential event, for the very first time, we saw Tom Hanks' true personality. A nasty, nasty, angry man. And since he's not a movie star anymore, he's not concerned about box office or anything, he doesn't hide it anymore. I mean, he was just a jerk to one of his own liberals, right? That would be like me yelling at Newsmax or Fox or Breitbart, making fun of them. Why would he do that? Because that's Tom Hanks. But it is a testament to what a great actor he is, because he does seem like a very, very nice man in the movies, but not in real life.
That's what they call it, acting.
That's correct. That's correct. Do you know what actor's career Tom Hanks destroyed?
What?
Steve Guttenberg. Steve Guttenberg was a big movie star, and then Tom Hanks came along and stole Steve Guttenberg's career. That's right. That's true. Steve Guttenberg's mother used to listen to us, Steve.
Really?
Yeah, she's passed away, but she was a listener of ours. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we're out of time for today. We'll be back Monday. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane has been here. My name is Brian Craig. Have a great Father's Day, everyone. See you Monday at 6. All right, guys, if you are on hold, I got to run. But everyone, please like the video before you go. And if you're new, welcome and please subscribe. Okay, guys? I will see you throughout the weekend. Take care.